The Great Depression of the 1920s and 1930s was a time of severe economic hardship, yet people found ways to preserve the spirit of Christmas. Through creativity, resourcefulness, and community, the holiday season remained a cherished time for families. Here's how Christmas traditions evolved and flourished during this challenging era. Aunt Samy, the fictional radio character. In an era when radios became the central hub of family life, Aunt Samy, a fictional character created by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, became a comforting presence in American households. With the widespread use of radio, families found a source of connection and support in Aunt Samy's broadcasts, which were part of the Bureau of Home Economics Housekeepers Chat program. Launched in 1926, Aunt Samy's radio show was aimed at educating and entertaining listeners with practical household advice, cooking tips, and lighthearted commentary. Through her warm, friendly voice, she became a staple of daily life for many Americans, especially during the challenging years of the Great Depression. Aunt Samy's contributions were not just about cooking. They were about creating a sense of community. Her broadcasts were filled with a sense of comfort and normalcy, which helped families cope with the hardship of the time. The character offered more than just recipes. She provided practical advice for managing a household, often using humor and empathy to make even the most mundane tasks seem more manageable. One of Aunt Samy's most cherished contributions was her Christmas pudding recipe, which became a beloved holiday tradition for many families. Featured in her 1927 cookbook, Aunt Samy's Radio Recipes, the recipe was both simple and flavorful, using ingredients that were often already found in the pantry, making it an accessible treat for families with limited means. This Christmas pudding, laden with dried fruit, spices, and suet, was more than just a dish. It symbolized the resilience of families during the hardest of times. Aunt Samy would often describe the process with precision and warmth, making her listeners feel as though they were sharing the preparation of this festive dessert together. Beyond the recipe itself, Aunt Samy's Christmas pudding was a reflection of how food and traditions played a pivotal role in maintaining family bonds. During the Great Depression, when many families faced financial struggles, the act of preparing something special like Christmas pudding brought a sense of joy and connection. It was not just about the food, it was about the shared experiences and the love that went into making the meal. Aunt Samy's Christmas pudding recipe, in particular, became more than just a culinary tradition. It became an embodiment of hope and community. Aunt Samy's presence on the radio was especially meaningful in an era when many families were facing economic uncertainty. Her broadcasts helped create a sense of stability and continuity, and her recipes became part of a larger cultural shift that encouraged families to make the most of what they had. Aunt Samy's role in Christmas celebrations during the Great Depression wasn't just about nourishing bodies, it was about nourishing spirits. Aunt Samy's Christmas pudding was a symbol of hope, family, and the power of tradition, and it continues to hold a special place in the hearts of many. Let's move to another tradition of the era of the Great Depression: holiday meals. During the Great Depression, even with limited resources, families managed to make Christmas a memorable occasion, particularly through the food they shared. Special meals became a symbol of resilience and love, with simple dishes that still carried festive significance. One popular starter was a hot tomato bouillon or cocktail, which combined the rich flavors of tomatoes with a hint of spice, providing warmth and comfort. Garnished with finely chopped parsley, this humble dish added a touch of elegance to the holiday table. The main course often centered around baked smoked ham, which provided a hearty and savory centerpiece for the meal. The smoky aroma and rich flavor of the ham made it a festive and affordable choice, particularly when paired with simple side dishes. Despite the economic strain, families knew how to create a fulfilling meal with what was available. Desserts, however, were the true highlight of these holiday meals. Aunt Samy shared a popular recipe for Christmas pudding that became a symbol of the time's resourcefulness. This version of the pudding, unlike traditional ones, was made with ingredients like stale brown breadcrumbs, raisins, sultanas, currants, grated apple, and spices, offering a delicious treat without the expensive ingredients typically required for such a dessert. Steamed to perfection, this pudding was moist and flavorful, providing comfort during the holiday season. These meals, while simple, reflected the creativity and adaptability of families during one of the most difficult times in American history. Even with scarce resources, the spirit of Christmas lived on through shared moments and the comfort of good food, bringing families together and reminding them of the warmth of the season. Have you ever imagined how life would be if we used candles instead of lights on our Christmas trees? Next, we'll be talking about that. Christmas lights and decorations. During the Great Depression, the holiday season was marked by resilience and creativity, particularly in how families approached Christmas lights and decorations. While financial hardships defined the era, the period also saw significant advancements and traditions in holiday decor, many of which continue to influence modern celebrations. One of the most transformative developments of the 1930s was the Rural Electrification Administration, REA, established in 1935. This government initiative played a pivotal role in bringing electricity to rural areas across America, which had previously been largely untouched by modern conveniences. Before the REA, many rural households relied on kerosene lamps and candles for lighting. While these methods provided some illumination, they were fraught with safety concerns and limited in their effectiveness. The advent of rural electrification not only made everyday life more convenient, but also allowed families to join the growing trend of decorating their homes and Christmas trees with electric lights. For the first time, rural homes could sparkle with festive brilliance, creating a sense of unity with urban households that had embraced electric decorations earlier. The widespread availability of electricity transformed Christmas into an even more luminous and magical holiday for millions of Americans, despite the economic challenges they faced. Another factor that contributed to the rise of electric Christmas lights during the Great Depression was their increased commercialization. Companies like General Electric began mass-producing electric Christmas lights in the early 20th century, gradually making them more accessible and affordable. By the 1930s, these lights had become a popular and practical way to bring a festive glow to homes. Electric lights replaced the traditional and hazardous practice of using candles on Christmas trees, offering a safer and more reliable way to decorate. Their twinkling beauty brought joy to families and became a symbol of hope during an otherwise difficult time. Stores often displayed colorful light arrangements, inspiring families to decorate their own homes, even if on a smaller scale. The tradition of adorning homes with lights became a widespread practice, symbolizing resilience and the human desire to celebrate, even in the face of adversity. While electric lights brought new possibilities, many families during the Great Depression had to rely on their ingenuity and resourcefulness to create decorations. With limited financial means, homemade decorations became a cherished part of holiday celebrations. Families used whatever materials were available, such as paper, fabric scraps, and even natural items like pine cones and berries, to craft ornaments and garlands. Children often played an active role in making decorations, cutting out paper snowflakes, stringing popcorn or cranberries, and assembling makeshift ornaments from everyday objects. These handcrafted items added a deeply personal touch to Christmas trees and homes, turning simple materials into symbols of love and togetherness. The act of creating these decorations also became a bonding experience for families, reinforcing the importance of unity and hope during tough times. The decorations of the Great Depression era reflect the resilience of families who found ways to make the holidays special, despite economic hardships. The combination of electrified homes, the rise of commercially produced Christmas lights, and the widespread practice of homemade decorations created a unique holiday atmosphere that blended innovation with tradition. Even today, the legacy of these practices can be seen in how we celebrate Christmas. From strings of twinkling lights to the charm of handmade ornaments, the creative and heartfelt efforts of families during the Great Depression continue to inspire and remind us that the spirit of the season lies in togetherness and hope. And what would you gift someone if you had only $1 to spend? Next up, we'll be talking about gifting on Christmas during the era of the Great Depression. Gifts. Gift-giving during the Great Depression was shaped by the economic challenges of the era, where families had to get creative and resourceful. With so many struggling financially, Christmas became a time to show love, appreciation, and generosity in simple yet meaningful ways. People didn't have the means to give lavish presents, but they found joy in making the most of what they had. The holiday season, despite its difficulties, still carried moments of warmth and hope, and the gifts exchanged reflected that spirit. Here's a look at some of the most popular and cherished gifts during the Great Depression. Oranges in stockings. In an era marked by scarcity and hardship, oranges became a rare and precious commodity. They weren't something that everyone could afford to buy regularly, and so receiving one during Christmas was a real treat. Oranges, often found tucked into stockings, were a symbol of abundance and luxury, something that was hard to come by for many families during the Great Depression. For children, the bright orange fruit was not just a sweet surprise, but a symbol of hope and a fleeting taste of normalcy in a time when resources were scarce. The simple pleasure of an orange in the stocking helped elevate the Christmas spirit, offering joy even in the toughest of times. Yo-yos. Among the most beloved toys during the Great Depression, the yo-yo stood out for its simplicity and affordability. This classic toy became a symbol of fun and entertainment without requiring much more than a small investment. Its low price made it accessible to many, and its endless entertainment value made it a favorite among children. The yo-yo's appeal was that it required no elaborate setup or expensive materials, just skill, practice, and a bit of imagination. It was a way for children to escape the worries of the day, offering moments of joy as they competed with friends and family to master the toy's tricks. With the lack of electronic devices and other expensive toys, the yo-yo became a timeless symbol of how simple things could still bring immense joy to children, even in the most difficult times. Monopoly. In 1935, the game Monopoly was introduced, and it quickly became a household staple across America. The game, which mimicked the complexities of real estate and business, offered families a way to bond over shared experiences while also providing a distraction from the outside world. In the midst of economic turmoil, Monopoly allowed players to engage in a simulated version of financial success, something that felt reassuring and comforting in an era when many were struggling to make ends meet. Its affordable price point made it accessible to most families, and it became a common gift for Christmas. As players navigated through buying properties, collecting rent, and going bankrupt, they were also learning lessons about money, competition, and strategy. Despite the tough times, Monopoly provided an avenue for families to come together, laugh, and forget their worries for a few hours. Shirley Temple dolls. Shirley Temple, the famous child star, became a symbol of hope and happiness during the 1930s. As the world endured the weight of the Great Depression, Shirley Temple's films provided much-needed escapism. Her wholesome, optimistic persona captivated audiences and brought light into the lives of many. As a result, Shirley Temple dolls became one of the most popular gifts for children during this time. These dolls, with their curly hair and sparkling eyes, were not just toys. They were cherished symbols of joy, resilience, and innocence. For many children, receiving a Shirley Temple doll at Christmas was a comforting experience, a way to hold on to the magic of the movies and the joy they represented. These dolls allowed kids to have their own piece of the world that had brought so much hope to their families. They were a tangible representation of the dream of better days ahead, offering comfort and inspiration during a time of uncertainty. While the Great Depression forced families to cut back on extravagant gifts, it also led to the development of a more thoughtful approach to giving. The emphasis was on making gifts meaningful, even if they were small or inexpensive. The simplicity of the presents reflected a spirit of resilience, community, and love. Despite the economic challenges, families found ways to celebrate the holidays together, focusing on the joy of being with loved ones rather than material wealth. Whether it was the rare treat of an orange in a stocking or the timeless fun of a yo-yo, these gifts reminded people that Christmas was about more than just what was under the tree. It was about shared moments, treasured memories, and the love that tied families together. These simple gifts carried the message that even in the darkest times, the spirit of Christmas could shine brightly. While the holidays were a time for creativity, gifting, and togetherness, they were also an opportunity for many to earn a little extra income. Next up, we'll be shedding light to the tradition of seasonal jobs during Christmas in the Great Depression. Seasonal jobs. During the Great Depression, the holiday season presented both challenges and opportunities for American families. Seasonal employment became a vital means for many to supplement their incomes, allowing them to partake in Christmas traditions despite widespread economic hardship. The Christmas period saw a surge in temporary jobs, particularly in retail and manufacturing sectors. Department stores, which experienced increased foot traffic during the holidays, often hired extra staff to manage the influx of shoppers. Roles included sales assistants, gift wrappers, and stock clerks. These positions, though temporary, provided essential income for families striving to make their holidays special. In addition to retail, the production of holiday goods created employment opportunities. Factories manufacturing ornaments, toys, and other festive items required additional labor to meet seasonal demand. This uptick in production offered jobs to those in need, albeit for a limited time. Beyond private sector opportunities, government programs played a significant role in providing employment during the holiday season. Initiatives like the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, and the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, were instrumental in offering jobs to the unemployed, contributing to both economic relief and infrastructure development. Communities also came together to support one another during the holidays. Public concerts and caroling became affordable and accessible forms of entertainment, fostering a sense of unity and joy. Families often crafted handmade gifts and decorations, utilizing available materials to create a festive atmosphere at minimal cost. While seasonal employment during the Great Depression was not a panacea for the widespread economic challenges, it provided temporary relief and a sense of purpose for many. The resilience and adaptability demonstrated by individuals during this era highlight the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. Next, we'll be talking about how the Great Depression also brought communities closer, with communal activities becoming a key part of celebrating Christmas despite the hardships. Communal activities. During the Great Depression, financial hardships led communities to develop new traditions and communal activities that emphasized togetherness and resourcefulness during the holiday season. One notable tradition that gained prominence was ice skating at Rockefeller Center in New York City. Opened in 1936, the Rockefeller Center ice skating rink became a symbol of holiday cheer and provided an affordable recreational activity for families and friends. The rink's festive atmosphere, adorned with decorations and the iconic Christmas tree, offered a sense of normalcy and joy during challenging times. Skating at Rockefeller Center became a cherished holiday pastime, fostering community spirit and creating lasting memories for those who participated. In addition to new traditions, existing holiday customs were adapted to fit the economic realities of the era. Christmas plays and pageants became common, as they were nearly cost-free activities for children during the holiday season. Mothers would make simple costumes, and communities would come together to enjoy these performances, reinforcing social bonds and providing entertainment. Another significant development during this period was the shift in the Thanksgiving holiday, commonly referred to as Franksgiving. In 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt moved Thanksgiving from its traditional date, the last Thursday in November, to the second-to-last Thursday. This change aimed to extend the holiday shopping season, thereby boosting retail sales to aid the struggling economy. The decision sparked national debate, with some states adopting the new date and others adhering to the traditional one, leading to confusion and mixed reactions across the country. Despite the controversies, the adjustment did have an impact on holiday preparations. Retailers welcomed the extended shopping period, hoping it would encourage consumer spending. However, the public's response was divided, with some appreciating the longer season and others viewing the change as an unnecessary disruption to tradition. The term Franksgiving emerged as a blend of Franklin and Thanksgiving, highlighting the association with President Roosevelt's decision. These adaptations and communal activities during the Great Depression highlight the resilience and creativity of communities in maintaining the holiday spirit. Through new traditions like ice skating at Rockefeller Center, the continuation of communal performances, and adjustments to holiday schedules, people found ways to come together and celebrate, even in the face of economic adversity. From festive traditions at home and fun communal activities, the focus often shifted to church services and community gatherings. Let's talk about that. Church services and community gatherings. During the Great Depression, many families found solace and strength in their faith, making religious observances a central part of their Christmas celebrations. In a time marked by economic hardship and uncertainty, these spiritual practices offered a sense of community, hope, and continuity. Attending church services on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day was a cherished tradition. These gatherings provided a space for families to come together, sing hymns, and hear sermons that emphasized themes of hope, resilience, and the true meaning of Christmas. The communal aspect of these services fostered a sense of belonging and support among congregants. In the absence of commercial decorations, families often created their own ornaments and nativity scenes. Crafting these items became a meaningful activity that allowed families to express their faith and creativity. The nativity scene in particular served as a poignant reminder of the humble beginnings of Jesus Christ, reinforcing the spiritual focus of the holiday. The spirit of giving was deeply rooted in religious teachings, and during the Great Depression, this was manifested through acts of charity. Families and communities organized food drives, clothing donations, and other charitable activities to support those in need. This emphasis on helping others not only alleviated some of the hardships faced by the less fortunate, but also reinforced the Christian values of compassion and generosity. With many facing financial struggles, Christmas became a time for reflection and gratitude. Families focused on the blessings they had, such as health, family, and faith, rather than material possessions. This shift in perspective helped individuals find peace and contentment amidst adversity. After church services, music filled the season, with carols and hymns uplifting spirits during the Depression era. The importance of music. During the Great Depression, music served as a vital source of comfort and connection for many families. Caroling and playing musical instruments became cherished traditions, offering a sense of normalcy and joy amidst economic hardships. Communities often gathered to sing carols, fostering a spirit of togetherness and resilience. The advent of radio technology played a pivotal role in disseminating Christmas music to a broader audience. Families, regardless of their financial status, could tune in to hear festive songs and performances by renowned artists of the time. This accessibility to music provided a shared experience, uniting listeners across the nation. The 1930s witnessed the creation of several iconic Christmas songs that have endured through the decades. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, composed during this era, exemplifies the era's musical creativity. Its enduring popularity underscores the era's contribution to the holiday music canon. Additionally, the period saw the emergence of songs like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which, despite its initially somber lyrics, was transformed into a holiday classic. Judy Garland's rendition in 1944 played a significant role in popularizing the song, highlighting the era's influence on holiday music. In essence, music during the Great Depression served as a beacon of hope and unity. Whether through communal caroling, the advent of radio broadcasts, or the creation of timeless holiday songs, music provided solace and a sense of community during challenging times. Let's move on to another tradition of the Depression time. Next up is another common Christmas activity of the Great Depression time: the role of Sears catalogs. During the Great Depression, the Sears, Roebuck and Company catalog became an iconic part of American life, especially around Christmas time. As families struggled financially, many could not afford the extravagant gifts and decorations that had once been staples of the holiday season. However, the Sears catalog provided an invaluable escape during this challenging period. While families might have had limited funds, the catalog allowed them to window shop and dream about the items they longed for. It helped transform Christmas from a time of scarcity into one of imagination and hope. With the Sears Catalog's broad selection of products, from household items to clothing, toys, and even Christmas decorations, families could mark the pages of the items they wished for and share dreams of the holiday season, despite not being able to purchase them. This act of dreaming about gifts, like bicycles or dolls, gave a sense of normalcy, and families continued their cherished holiday traditions, even when times were tough. The Sears Catalog was not just a marketing tool. It was a cherished part of Christmas for many families who used it as a way to escape the hardships of the era. One of the highlights of the Sears Catalog during the holidays was its Christmas Wish Book. This annual publication was filled with festive illustrations of toys, gadgets, and goods designed to catch the eye of children and adults alike. For many, this catalog became the centerpiece of their Christmas season. Kids would eagerly flip through its pages, marking their wish lists with items that they dreamed of receiving. Parents, on the other hand, would study the pages to plan their modest holiday budgets. The catalog gave people an opportunity to make the holiday feel special, despite financial challenges, by imagining a Christmas filled with the gifts they had hoped for. In addition to the wish book, the Sears Catalog featured holiday-themed merchandise, including decorations and recipes, to help families maintain the spirit of the season. It was common for people to make holiday treats or meals based on recipes found in the catalog. For example, many would use the catalog to find ideas for Christmas puddings, cakes, or cocktails, much like the recipe from Auntie Sammy's cookbook, which became a popular feature of the era. It was a small way to keep the traditions of Christmas alive and ensure the holiday still felt meaningful, despite the economic strain. Even though they couldn't always afford to buy everything they wanted, the catalog played a significant role in shaping Christmas traditions. It allowed families to dream about the ideal holiday, even if that dream didn't come true in the material sense. As a result, the Sears Catalog became more than just a shopping tool. It became a symbol of hope and resilience during one of America's most difficult times. Families could still enjoy the magic of Christmas, even if they had to get creative with what they could afford. In this way, the Sears Catalog not only helped people manage their holiday shopping, but also acted as a crucial tool for families trying to preserve a sense of normalcy during a time when many of their traditions were at risk of disappearing due to economic hardship. It offered an outlet for creativity and resourcefulness, allowing people to celebrate Christmas in their own way, despite financial strain. Whether it was gifting oranges, enjoying the wish book, or dreaming about the Christmas feast, the Sears Catalog kept the Christmas spirit alive for many during the Great Depression. And finally, let's dive into the reality of poor families during Christmas in the Depression era. Unique challenges of rural families. During the Great Depression, rural families faced unique challenges that shaped their Christmas celebrations. Isolation and limited access to resources led them to develop distinctive traditions, reflecting their resilience and ingenuity. With store-bought decorations beyond reach, families crafted ornaments from available materials. They made paper chains from old catalogs, created snowflakes, and fashioned garlands from vines and holly gathered from nearby woods. These handmade adornments not only beautified their homes but also fostered a sense of togetherness. Gift-giving was modest yet heartfelt. Children might find an orange in their stockings, a rare and cherished treat symbolizing the season's spirit. Handmade items, such as knitted scarves or carved wooden toys, were common, embodying the love and effort of the giver. Holiday meals often featured ingredients sourced directly from their farms or through hunting. Families prepared dishes using homegrown vegetables and meats, ensuring festive feasts despite economic hardships. This self-reliance was crucial in maintaining holiday traditions during tough times. Community played a vital role in rural Christmas celebrations. Neighbors gathered for events like school Christmas plays, where children performed and families shared in the festivities. These communal activities strengthened bonds and provided a sense of normalcy and joy amid adversity. The Great Depression proved that even in the hardest times, the spirit of Christmas could thrive. Families adapted by focusing on meaningful traditions, simple joys, and the power of togetherness. These stories remind us that the holiday season isn't defined by material wealth, but by the memories and bonds we create. What do you think about these Depression-era traditions? Would you bring any of them back? Let us know in the comments.